Good afternoon, Map here, Map Investments, bringing you another market video on the stock market and market trends. Haven't done a video like about 6 days since the Fed raised interest rates 50 basis points. We have had some gyrations in the market. Currently, the 10-year yield is up to 3.75, so rates have climbed. All foreign currencies are up except the yen and the Swiss franc as of now, and the dollar is down a little bit under that 105 mark. That's very crucial. Japan did raise interest rates this week. That was another big economic event. Their inflation is at 40 years highs as well, and we're seeing central banks across the world raising rates. We shall see what happens to the dollar, but commodity prices are pretty up there, and the dollars at pretty much highs. Being that the 52-week high was, I want to say 10. I don't think it got to 115 this year. I don't think it did. Let's see, 360 days. Yeah, it did get to 115, basically, the high. Right now, Bitcoin's up 85 to 16,820. Sam the man had bail set at 250 million, and I'm sure he's going to be doing some time in the slammer for scamming people. You guys know where I stand with the Bitcoin stuff. I'd rather be in precious metals. If you want to play Bitcoin, maybe play it through maybe the chips, NVIDIA or AMD, to name a few. Oil up to almost 80. Strategic reserves are at 40-year lows. I think we're going to head much higher in the new year, and that might cause more inflation pain, which I think is going to get out of control next year. Even though some stuff is coming down in prices, like cars and maybe houses and rent, there's going to be stuff that necessities that you need in life that are not going to be coming down in price, in my opinion, especially food. S&P up 7. They were up higher. Right now they're up 7, so markets are pretty flat right now. It is going into the holiday. This weekend we have Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you. Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah. So it should be slower. I don't think we're going to have a Santa Claus rally, obviously. I think the trend is lower in the market, and I don't see no catalyst to bump us into a rally into the year end. And I think the first quarter of next year is going to be painful, in my opinion. David Tepper was on this week, a big hedge fund. His net worth is about 18 billion. He owns the Carolina Panthers. He's an optimist for the most part, but he said being in charge of a hedge fund and not fighting the Fed, which is communicating that they're going to be raising interest rates, is to be net short. Gold up over 1,800 to 1,805. I'm a fan of the precious metals, gold and silver. Meat prices, feeders at 184, pretty flat, staying up there. Hogs have really rallied from the lows of 80s to basically high 80s. And so we should see higher hog prices here. Copper about 381. Cattle up to 157. So meat prices up there. I got some ribeyes on special. If you have a Publix in your area, I got some ribeyes at $5.99 a pound. So I stocked up on some ribeyes. Can't even get a decent burger at Mickey D. Not that I eat that crap for $5.99. So it's a no-brainer. No, we got some cold weather, and natural gas is up a little bit. It was in the 4s. I think it hit a 482 today, and it bounced back to over 5. We have a cold front hitting a lot of places. One of my customers telling me is under negative 20 in Chicago, I think it was. So chime in if you really got cold weather with it. We're going to be in the 40s here in Miami, and that's rare, but it'll be nice for the holiday season. Nasdaq pretty much down but flat. Dow Jones up 80. It was up higher, but it's come down a little bit. Platinum and palladium, some nice bumps in there today, 70 and 44 respectively. Silver hovering about that $24 mark. VIX down 23.65, down 60 cents. The grains are showing some life. Wheat has bounced back from that low sevens to 775. Soybeans 1478. Corn 665. Some of the stocks that I've been following, in this environment, I want to get paid to wait. So some of the dividend paying stocks, biggest winners today, ConocoPhillips, Dow Chemical, really like those. Um, International Paper, Tyson Foods, um, MO, Altera, they do cigarettes, USB, a bank, pretty big bank, $60 billion bank, Kraft Heinz, uh, pretty flat, Huntington Bank. So these guys pay, dividends. Annaly pays like a 14% dividend. Intel 5% dividend. Big company, makes chips. Medtronics, big um, medical supply producer, maker. Um, Over $100 billion market cap. I think they pay a 3% dividend. So you want to you want to get paid to wait on these. Biggest losers on the dividend front that I'm following: Clorox and Bristol Myers, down a buck more or less, and Verizon pays 7%, $38. On the news front, I think economic news wise, we got the U.S. House passes 1.7 trillion bill to fund government through September, sending it to Biden's desk. So, I mean, this is a big bill. This is something that's going to cause more inflation, because we don't have the taxes to pay for that bill. So the Fed's going to have to monetize this bill. When I say monetize, print dollars to fund this bill. Why everyone thinks a recession is coming in 23? I agree. I think that prophecy will come due in the first half of the year. It'll be painful. I think we're seeing more and more layoffs. Consumer spending was down in November based on CNBC's news. Tesla cut prices on their cars. Stocks at 125. They cut prices 7,500, and they're offering like 10,000 supercharged, something like that. I'm not in the market for an EV, but that's what I read. What else? I know they talked about today about November, the consumer slowed down. We talked about Tesla. And, some people think the Fed will pivot. If the Fed pivots, we're going to see some dollar weakness and be getting close to hyperinflation, in my opinion. I mean, it's going to get ugly if this is what materializes. The Fed can't pivot. They need to raise interest rates to bring in inflation. I don't think they will. I think they will quit and surrender, like Peter Schiff says, to inflation, and they will lose the fight against inflation. And because governments have two ways to fund their programs and fund the country's budget, the country's for military, etc. Either they tax the people or they print money and they create inflation to fund their programs. And inflation is a tax. Don't be mistaken. I think that's pretty much it. There really hasn't been a lot of news. I know FedEx and Nike reported okay. They were up this week. But it's been pretty quiet. I really haven't done much trading, just focusing on getting everything in line for the new year, enjoying the family. Stay safe, have a happy holiday. Chime in if you see any prudent news. But I would get ready, try and stay out of debt, get ready for 23, because the survey there says everybody thinks a recession's coming. I think we're gonna have a weaker dollar. My in my 401k. If we get some lower prices, I'll probably move some money from the short treasury fund, which is safe, into this. I would like to pick some of this up, maybe in the low tens would be good if we get a rollover, because I think the dollar is eventually going to roll over, in my opinion, causing international markets to do very well and precious metals. You can see it if you watch the tape. You can see this action materializing uh, underneath the market. This is a 5 day chart on the dollar. Uh, Here's the 3 months. So you see 115, and we're heading down, and 105 was a big. You see it here. It cracked 105. So I think for the new year, we will see lower lows on the dollar, and we're gonna head back down, in my opinion. And inflation should pick up. Oil is at 80. I think we're gonna head back up. I think you got to be in the energy sector. Coal names are pretty good too. I'm looking at some coal names that pay dividends. I've only seen a couple. CEIX I saw that I was looking at. They're up $1.52 today, up 2%. They got a 580 dividend, so that might be a decent one to get in. I have to see when they pay the dividend. Um, they're a little bit off the high of the year. NC also, I think it's called NC. NC stock up to as well 1%. They have a 2% dividend. Very lightly traded. The bigger one of the coal plays were probably the first one I talked about there. Um, so that's pretty much I have for today. It's been pretty quiet. I haven't been doing much. Um, Enjoy the holiday with your families. Be safe. Like the video, subscribe, uh, put some comments there, and I'll see you in the next video.